Good day and welcome to the Localization Podcast powered by the Nigerian Local Coalition Accelerator. I am your host, Nimrod Grace. So, in today's conversation, it's going to be interesting because we are going to be talking about youth. And we have a young person amongst us today to take us through this conversation in person of Mr. Afagated. We are glad to have you join us today, sir.
Thank you, Grace. I'm glad to be here.
So, being a young person, what motivates you the most?
Well, for me, being a young person, what motivates me the most is that, life is in stages, right?
Yeah.
From birth to death, you have those stages that come. First, you are a child, toddler, you become a young 18, and then you grow into being a young adult. And then from there, you get into that middle age, and then the aging process continues until death. So one good thing about being young is that at this youthful age, you have energy in you to pursue all your goals, to explore the world. Because a lot of inventions that currently are being trending, see that they come from young people, and then young people make a very large number of our population. So you see that we are very important economically, politically. We have the numbers. So as a young person or being a young person right now, it's an advantage because as more opportunities are coming up, they are tilted towards the youth. But for older persons that might look back, they say, okay, we've lost our chance or this period is not for us. But for a young person, you can't give those excuses to yourself because this is the era for young people. Young people are driving a lot of change, even in leadership, in technology, in science, and all of that.
Okay, thank you very much. Talking about the advantage that young people have, how do you think they can be supported to take up leadership roles and drive positive change in the society?
Yeah. So, you see, in our society here, especially in Nigeria, there's this mantra that youth are the leaders of tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
But you see that thing is just like a spoken word. There's no so much energy or so much truthfulness poured into it because people, or should I say the government or society at large, they are not really doing things critically to make sure that they are preparing young people for leadership positions. Okay. So you see that a lot of young people who are, we have natural people that leadership occurs to them naturally. If they're in a place, it's easy for them to like lead because they have charisma, they have that vision, they have the zeal, okay, to drive something to the end. But leadership doesn't always come like that. Most times, leadership is something that even though you have it naturally in you, you have to be groomed. You have to be mentored to become a better leader, for tomorrow. So, ways through which I feel our society today or people can help young people to be better leaders is that we need to create opportunities where people can actually test run leadership skills.
Okay.
You can have that skill of being a leader, that disposition of you being a leader. But if there is no avenue for you to showcase that, your leadership skills will never manifest. People will not know, oh, there's a leader here. Another one is that we should have avenues where people can be mentored, just like I said.
Okay.
Gold is refined before it becomes this gold that we all value so much. So if we identify youth with potential for leadership, it's something that we shouldn't just leave that to just die away.
Yeah.
Okay. We should make sure that there are opportunities where we groom upcoming leaders, especially young people that are, have that disposition for leadership or are doing something in the area of leadership. So it will help a lot. Or another thing is I feel like if we have exchange programs,
Okay.
yes, where youth can even go outside the country. There are many leadership institutes over there across the world where even the government itself can sponsor certain youth to go learn more about leadership, come back, and then domesticate whatever they've learned or put it in practice in their various communities. I think it will help.
That's
It's a
interesting.
very wonderful way to support leadership.
Interesting.
Yes.
So, Mr. Ted, could you share with us a story of a young person or even a youth initiative that have truly inspired you in your work in the humanitarian space and what made their impact to really stand out?
Yeah, there are many stories of, we have a lot of Nigerian youth who are creating impact there. But I think one happened some time ago in 2006.
Okay.
I think September 17 thereabout, if I'm not wrong or
Okay.
about the date. But there was this plane crash that happened in Benue at a hill somewhere. It was an Air Force aircraft that was carrying Air Force officers then. And when that crash happened, it was in the village. So you know that rural people, But there was this particular young boy, he was around 14 years of age
Okay.
then, that immediately he heard that
The plane
crash
crash.
because it was loud.
Mm.
Yes. And then the next thing he saw, you know, he rushed to the hill there. And when he got there, his act of bravery he was able to call for help, and that made some persons to be rescued because yes, his timely intervention. So for me, that story stands out for me because one, you see that he didn't do that action because he wanted some sort of reward. Yes, it was purely on humanitarian basis because this Ubuntu spirit, I am because you are.
Yeah.
So whatever affects me affects
others. Yeah.
and others. Yes. So that story really inspired me in my humanitarian development work that whatever you're doing as a young person, it shouldn't have to be about yourself alone. Whatsoever we do that will benefit the community or another person it's wonderful for me. So for me, that story stands out for me very well.
That is truly inspiring, I must say. So, from your experience, what types of support do you think youth groups need to strengthen their resilience and grow their initiatives in contributing more meaningfully to their society?
Yeah. So, when you have ideas, but there are no platforms um, for you to express those ideas, or there are no platforms where those ideas can come into reality, it's a big hindrance. It's like a huge obstacle. So I think one of the ways we can help young people, youth, to actually actualize their dream is that um, if the government can come up with something like grants. I know the Nigerian government have done so much in regards to giving grants. Back then we had Shopee, a lot of programs that were meant to empower youth. And then, yes, some other social safety nets that were meant to give young people like some sort of relief. So I feel if there can be a fund that can fund youth initiative, I think Tony Elumolo, he does something like that. He supports young people to to put their business ideas there to become reality. He supports them with money. So I think if we have a fund that is just meant for young
people,
yes, their initiative, or if you can have something like grants that can be given to them, and not just giving grants alone. If we have mentorship programs as well, because you can have ideas, wonderful ideas, but you also need people to polish those ideas for you. You need people to fine tune them. So this is one thing that young people lack. A lot of young people out there, they're just struggling. They're just trying to figure out things by, their own selves, and they are not getting this form of support. So I feel if we can have a platform, one avenue that can help young people in whatever area they choose to go in, agriculture, tourism, if they choose to go into fashion, businesses, I feel it will go a long way to help those dreams come true, so that the dreams don't just end at idea stage, but they come to life.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Ted. I must say, it's very interesting interacting with you. To every young person watching us out there, even from the story Mr. Ted shared with us, for every young person, I feel they shouldn't just wait, sit down. Okay, you talk about there isn't enough funding. Sometimes it's just not about the funding. Young people need to actually take the bold step to do what they can do in their capacity. This young boy, if he was waiting for something to be there before he can actually come in and help the situation, it wouldn't have gone the way it went.
And just to add to that, Grace, some people feel that when they do good, when they are selfless, they don't they feel like it's not rewarding.
Yeah.
So that has led to a lot of crime in our society where people feel for you to make it there, you have to, be involved in fraud or some sort of deception to make worth it. That story is a very nice one because the guy got scholarship. Yeah, he got scholarship, and I think he's an officer in the Air Force.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Because this thing happened about 10 years ago, 10 to 11. No, it's more than that.
Wow.
Because from 2007 to now,
yeah.
it's a long time.
Very long time.
It's getting to 2 decades, and if not counting. In many avenues, we should have room should be made for young people to come in, okay, to showcase leadership skill, to actually serve. It will go a long way.
Yeah. So I also feel that young people need to actually step out. There's opportunity for every young person out there.
Exactly.
But then they should not just focus on, most of the times we are focused on the gain now, not looking at the long time benefit of it. So there are positions that you could come out, volunteer, not just relaxing and waiting for a bigger position. You start a step. They say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with only a step. So young people, we are calling on you. Don't just lock up yourself. You have so much potential. You have so much opportunity. Step out of that comfort zone of yours and take the bull by the horn. Do something to impact the community at large. So thank you very much for staying through with us today.
Thank you.
We hope to see you next time. To our viewers, thank you for listening. Drop in the comment section what motivates you the most as a young person. Let's hear your view. And do not forget to share, follow us, and like on all our social media platforms at Nigerian Local Coalition Accelerator, NLCA. I still remain your host, Nimrod Grace. See you next time.